All right, let's get this started, man. We got a nice little crowd waiting. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Creative Mind. I am your host, Andrew Lyko. Man, it feels good to be back, man. I feel like every time we do this space, it just kind of sets the tone for our Fridays. You know what I mean? Nothing but good vibes. And today we have a very special guest. I'm super excited to meet her, talk about her story, get inside your mind space a little bit. You know what I mean? Get inside her perspective. But I hope everybody's feeling good, man. I'm in Cali right now. It's a nice sunny day. I'm chilling in the room, got my coffee. So this is gonna be a really dope space, man. So I'm gonna everybody kind of just sit back, get yourselves comfortable. You have your drink, you know what I mean? Get yourself situated because it's gonna be a dope one. A little background about myself and One Dope Kids, real quick, is I'm a contemporary fine artist now, but my origin story started off as a graffiti writer. And so I'm just a kid, man. I'm just a kid who grew up loving art and art, fashion, and I didn't have much, but I made do with what I had, and I've been able to really push my career to a really high level with what I had, man. So it's like if I can do it, anybody can do it, and this is what this space is about. This is what Wendo Kids is about. Is to kind of give insights, man, to show that anything's really possible if you set your mindset to it. And so, we dedicate this space to really talk and find another creative and kind of just chit chat. Meaning this space is very organic. I didn't send anything to Stoic ahead of time. I don't have anything planned. Everything's just kind of organic. How the conversation goes, that's how it goes. And we're doing this live in front of the public to really get that, raw energy. And so, yeah, man, that's a little bit about me. But Stoic, I'm absolutely excited to meet you. It seems like you have a really dope story. A lot of similarities to mine too, which is exciting. Obviously with the whole graffiti background. And not only are you an incredible artist, but I see you have an incredible collection as well. So I love to see other creatives, really go out there and show love to other creatives in the space, man. So absolutely love that about you. But yeah, you want to come up here to the stage, just kind of say what's up to the people before we get started?
Yeah, yeah, what's up? Thank you for having me. Honored to be here. And I wish you had sent me a list because I'm mad nervous to be talking in public. It's not something I usually do. So,
It's all good. It's all good. Just take a deep breath. It's like I said, this is just a very raw, organic conversation, and I'm here to help. You know, what I mean, I'm here to kind of help steer the ship. And so just think of this as just me, artist to artist, just getting into it. And yeah, man, like the first thing I always like to start off, to kind of break the ice is just kind of ask you where the inspiration started as a kid. If you can like go back in time and remember like that first instance of you wanting to create, if you remember that memory.
um, I don't know that I remember that memory, but I had like the good fortune of living in a building where my bedroom faced an abandoned building. And it wasn't like, I didn't live like in the hood or anything. I lived in like a, lower class, middle class neighborhood or whatever. But it just happened to be that they started building that building, and I guess they ran out of money, and they never were able to finish. And so, obviously, the OG graph heads like gravitated towards it, and it became a place where they went and painted and stuff. And so I was able to like see like the art from my window, and when I walked home from school, because it was like at the end of the street where my school was. Um, and so, I would like sneak in there, and I'd like use like little scrap cans that they left and do like ugly little things and probably toy their stuff. And and so that was like the first thing. I was like fascinated with it, like not just like the graffiti, but just like the abandoned building. It was so cool, like rubble, and like it was like modern ruins. And then in like sixth grade, one of my classmates brought his brother's copy of spray can art to our art class, and that was it. I was like, I was blown away by like what those people were doing. And so that was like the first thing that made me fall in love with graph. And then like I always had like a knack for drawing. Like I could draw things, like I could just like, I don't know, like look at like a Disney character and like just draw it exactly how it was or whatever. But I wasn't doing like my own thing. I was just like, copying like Walt Disney's shit and stuff like that. Um, and then I just kept on going from there. I liked doing bad things. I liked being able to get over and like, do something and not get caught and things like that. So that's why I gravitated towards graph. And then I just like making stuff. I co-founded like Miami's first hip hop newspaper. I'm a software engineer. I'm just like making is in my DNA. I think it's in everybody's, but some people just like do it, and some people are afraid to. And I maybe wasn't as afraid of other people.
Exactly what you just ended on right there. I feel like we all have this ability to create. It's just a matter of how we listen to ourselves and how we're able to pull it out of ourselves. But man, I remember that feeling too. It's like being introduced to graph and like seeing that side of the world, you just kind of like blown away. I remember I was just like, dude, like, what is this? It's just like so different to what you know. And for me, it was the same thing. It's kind of just like as soon as I saw it, from my cousins doing it, I was like, oh damn, this is crazy. Like I want to do that. I don't know if I can, but I'm definitely gonna try. And so it's kind of
Hmm.
cool to see that a lot of us have similar stories like that where we get introduced to it and it's like right away we already know like, oh bro, like I need to try that myself. um
Yeah, I didn't
yeah.
even know it was called graffiti at that time. Like I was like this. I don't know, hieroglyphics, like.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I don't know what it is, I can't read it, but it looks dope.
Yeah.
Damn, no, that's sick. It's really cool to see like your progression, because again, it's like graffiti is one of those things where obviously it's illegal and there's a lot that comes with it. There's a lot of risk, and so a lot of times I feel like from the outside world we get a bad rep of like, oh, they're just like these hood kids, just like vandalizing stuff, and there's no artistic anything to it. Like it's just writings on the wall. But man, if you peel back some of these stories, and then like how far some of these kids are able to take their career and just open up so many different other doors, to that creative world. Like man, without graffiti, a lot of us wouldn't be where we're at right now, and so I got to show a lot of love for that. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
but that's incredible. So let's kind of like run this back a little bit before we get too deep into it. I want to kind of pick your brain and see what like child stoic was like. Like what were the things that you were into at that time? Obviously, graffiti was one of the things that caught your eye. But aside from that, like what else were you into?
Oh, I was a little nerd. I was really shy. I'm still pretty shy, but I was really shy. So I kept to myself. I like reading books a lot. I still like reading books a lot. Oh, did I? Hold on. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay, okay. Sorry, I thought I wrote. Um, yeah, so I did, like I said, a lot of reading. I always liked art. Trying to think what else did I like? I always liked board games. I still love board games. And just playing outside, kickball, nothing out of the ordinary. And when it was too hot, we were playing Super Mario inside and things like that.
And now, do you have any siblings like that you had around that kind of like helped you or like influenced you in some type of way, or were you like the only child?
No, so I'm the oldest of seven. The oldest one after me is 6 years younger than me, so I didn't really get along with him until I was like, in my 20s, and so was he, because he was kind of like the annoying little brother. And then the other ones were like so much younger that they were just kind of like, I didn't mess with them too much because I was like a teenager and I just wanted to do my own shit. Um, but not so. I kind of had to
Yeah.
inspire
Devin.
myself and look at like all the people like doing graph and stuff like that to get inspired because I didn't have that.
So, all right. So in this household, there's seven of you guys. What was that like? It's got to be kind of hectic. Like,
Well, it's different, right? Because it's like none of us are like from the same parents. Like I have like my mom had married a few times and had kids with a few, and my dad same thing. So I only have half brothers and sisters, so we didn't. I lived with two brothers in my mom's house, and then my sister, my brother, and my other sister lived in my dad's, and then I had a stepsister who lived with her mom. So it was like just like we were all over the place. So a lot of times we would see each other on the weekends and things like that.
Now, because of that, did you have a lot of freedom? Like, as far as kind of being able to do whatever you wanted, even at such a young age?
Yeah, my mom's like the typical parent who doesn't believe that their child is doing bad things, you know. And my dad didn't really care, so yeah, when I was at my dad's house, I did whatever the fuck I wanted, and if I got arrested, he came and picked me up, and that was it. So
Yo, yeah, that's funny. I mean, the only difference between you and I is that if I got arrested, my parents like, yeah, don't call me. So that's the only difference. But I definitely had freedom, like it made it easier to be a graffiti writer and go out, be in the streets, at such a young age, and having your parents kind of just, not that they don't care, but it's just like they just have that trust in you, like, yo, like, I mean, he's a good kid. Like, if he gets into shit, I mean, pretty sure you can figure it out, type of thing.
yeah, my mom, man, if I would have called my mom, she would have. Oh my god, I would have had to hear it. But my dad, I'm sure he was happy to be able to get up in the middle of the night and smoke a cigarette and snort some coke and pick me up, And so
That's crazy. All right, so let's do this. How about this? How about take us through, like, for the audience that's new, doesn't know too much about graffiti, like, take us through one of your very first experiences that you were bold enough to be like, you know what, I'm gonna try and go out into the world and write something, like, take us through that story, um as much as you remember, but something good, something like it's like heartbeat racing, like you don't know exactly what you're doing, but you're out there doing it, take us through that.
oh man, so I guess I'll tell you about like a time. It maybe wasn't one of the first times, but or not even close to one of the first times, but so one time, me and my boy Scape and my girl Mars we went to paint some trains in this place over here called what's it called, Rinker. Um, and so like they're like heavily, they're heavily guarded. They have like guards that are driving around in their little trucks with their lights up and down the track. And so we parked like mad far, like 3 miles away, uh, and it had rained, so we had to trek through this like this open field because they're like right beside the Everglades. And so we trekked through this thing, and it was like, man, it was like walking in quicksand. So we were like exhausted by the time we finally get to the tracks. We're walking down the tracks, and as we're walking down the tracks, all of a sudden, like one of the trucks passes. So now we're like running with all our gear and shit, and we had to like hide in some bushes. And when we hid in those bushes, like I said, it's in the Everglades, and we got like, I got like 60 mosquito bites. I'm not even exaggerating, like 60 mosquito bites on my arms and shit. And then we had to like wait there. And then we were like kind of like, oh man, should we just leave? Because these people are out here. And then we're like, fuck it, now we're gonna paint this. If we went through all this trouble, we're gonna paint it. Uh, but yeah, you go through all that kind of stuff.
Oh man, that's kind of rough. One thing that I absolutely hate are mosquitoes. They just, nah, they be destroying me. I can't imagine what that felt like.
That's
But yeah,
terrible.
you guys are already in it. Like, might as well finish it. Might as well complete the mission. Get it done. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I once had to. I ran with a a telescopic ladder. So like we were like painting a train, and I had a telescopic ladder. I don't know what possessed me to take a telescopic ladder with me, but it's like 30 pounds. Doesn't This doesn't seem like a lot until you have to run with it. But I so like we yeah, and they cost like
Duh,
like 200
what?
bucks. So we see this guy coming, and I'm like fuck. So I pull down the ladder, and I like close it, but I didn't strap it, and I started like running with it, and it opened while I was running. Oh my god! I busted my ass. Like all kinds of crazy shit happen when you're painting, and you have to book it.
Yeah, audience, man, keep this in mind. All of this to throw up a piece on a wall. It's like that's that's how much love we have for this. It's like we don't really think about, the consequences of how hard it's gonna be. It's just like, okay, we have an idea, we know where we want to execute. Now let's just go ahead and run it. Let's do it. It's like very little planning usually happens, and some of those nights it tend to be like the best nights. And it's just, I don't know. It's something about the adrenaline, the being out at night by yourself, kind of, or if you're like with a homie or a crew or something. But it's just like, I don't know. It's like an adventure like none other, and it's something that really helped me as a person kind of get out of my shell, because I'm like, dude, I'm out here doing this. Like, I'm not really scared of much, like in the daytime. Like, what is it to be scared of? And so it kind of pushes you to get out of your comfort zone as a person. At least that's what it did for me. So what has been like your experiencing from transitioning from being a graffiti writer into like now an illustrator, and you said that you're also a coder. Like, what has that transition been like?
Um, I mean, I guess I don't know. Like, hmm, I guess maybe from from the NFT perspective, if I'm talking about like just digital, there's not much except like it was a little weird to get used to like using an iPad, honestly, because it's not the same as like drawing on paper. But aside from that, not really much. I guess the challenge is for me, like from like a let's say like a not like an art perspective, but from like a collector perspective and stuff like that. Is like it's difficult for me because like I said, I'm really shy and uh, I'm not like the type of person who's gonna like market myself or anything like that. And so that's kind of a challenge for me. But from like a technical perspective, like I guess it's not really a challenge. But in terms of like NFTs, I'm a software engineer and I'm a collector. Like I've always collected like shoes, like AF1s and things like that, and I collect art, like physical art from artists and things like that. And so I always found like the NFT digital collectibles and like certifying authenticity like really interesting, both as a software engineer and as like a like collector. And like I also like really enjoy like the like juxtaposition of like graffiti and NFTs, because like graffiti's like you're incognito and it's like fleeting, like it rarely lasts. You can put something up today and it's gone tomorrow because like graffiti gets buffed or it's sandblasted or it fades with the sun or whatever the case is. And NFTs is like the opposite. You know what I'm saying? It's like on the blockchain and it resides. It's like transparent and it's like permanent. So, or it's supposed to be permanent. Well, that remains to be seen. But uh, so that's what I really like enjoyed about like the digital thing, and I really love like Web3 is kind of like it's like a renaissance, I guess you could say, because I've never seen like such a huge art movement in my lifetime since graffiti really. Um, so I think that's pretty dope.
100%. And I'm looking at your collection right now. Like, dude, you have some insane pieces. I see Resist. I see Crack the Toy. You know what I mean? I see Dead Kid
Mm,
in here. Like, you got taste. Yeah, I see WD. Like, shout
Red
out all the
Trev,
homies, man. Because it's like,
yeah.
I love to see it. And it's another thing about Solana. I don't know what it is about the space, but I feel like the artists in here are some of the most incredible, talented individuals that I have ever met. It's like when I came into the space, I was actually pushed to be better because I'm just like, damn, dude, these guys are absolutely insane. It's very inspiring to see what you and like other artists are doing in the space. And I think it's super dope that we're kind of all connected in some way. We all collect each other's work. Like, I seem to continue to find you guys in similar projects, and it's like the whole movement is kind of riding this wave, and we're all kind of like getting on it and helping one another. Like, I never feel like it's a competition, but more so like a family that's growing together. You know what I mean?
Word, yeah. I don't like competition, honestly. That's maybe one of the things about graph that I didn't really like the culture. Like, I'm not trying to compete with nobody. I'm just trying to compete with myself, because I can only get better than myself. I can't get better than other people. Like, we got different styles, different stories, different journeys.
That is true, and I agree with you there. But I also agree with the fact like that, you are who you surround yourself with, right? So If you're
Mm-hmm.
surrounding yourself with like some incredible talented individuals with their own style, like, what's bound to happen? You're bound to just like level up your game to a whole nother thing, and so it's like I feel like this space is very unique in that sense that the tribe is pretty mad fucking talented, and everybody's doing their own shit. But at the same time, I feel like as a space, we're really representing as if we were like one huge giant like graffiti crew or something. Like
Mm-hmm.
we're all representing one another in a very cool way, and I love that about the space.
Yeah, definitely. There's like a high concentration of like really high quality artists here. It's kind of crazy.
And everybody's so fucking dedicated. It's insane. Like everybody has their own story, their own life. You know what I mean? Everybody's going through their own shit. Some people might be full time. Some people might be part time. But the dedication with whatever time that they have, you can definitely see it. You know what I mean? It's like you said. This space right now is like the Renaissance days. It's like there's
Mm-hmm.
so much experimentation, a lot going on, but it's exciting, man. I feel like creators haven't really had this wave of being able to create something this impactful for themselves and for the world. It's like a very unique moment, and definitely feel like the ones who are dedicated with whatever time that they have, it's definitely showing. And people are getting places. So it's exciting, man. Overall, it's just absolutely exciting.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know how long it takes you to do a piece, but like I could tell you, I feel like I'm a little bit slow because like I'm still learning and stuff, you know. But these pieces take like a long time. Like my last piece, the last drip piece was like 17 hours, and like the one before that was like 15, and the one before that was like 22 hours. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I feel like I know I've heard like Scotty Russell say like his pieces sometimes take like 50 hours. So it's like we put a lot of work, like a lot of time into it, and like a lot of us have like like our day job. I have a day job that I work, so we all definitely do a lot of we're very dedicated to the work.
Now take us through that. Let's like take us through one of your creative sessions. Like you're back from your day job, you're about to get into it. What does that look like? One session like that.
First I procrastinate because I'm like a master at that. And then I usually have like a general idea, but then I kind of like fiddle around with the composition for a while, getting like the perspective right. That's probably what takes me the longest. I haven't been using any tools for perspective, but 466 turned me on to a tool that I'm gonna try to use, that'll hopefully make things faster or probably make things more
Let's
complicated
go.
for me, but whatever, we'll see. uh, and then just getting like the outlines done, which is the easy part, I think, and then the colors and the shading and all that stuff. Getting the lighting right, like that's one of the things that I think I struggled with the most when I first started. And actually, 466, I don't know if y'all know him, but if you don't, you should check him out. He's an amazing artist, and he saw one of my pieces. He's like, "Man, this is so dope, but the lighting is shit." And he was like,
Yo.
and so basically, he gave me some tips, and whenever I finished that piece, I was already like, it was a war of attrition, so I kind of finished it a little bit before I would have liked to. Now that I look back on it, but I had a deadline. But then like I came back with like the drip stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come full force and like use everything that 466 told me, and like try to like make these shits like fucking dope.
Yeah,
And so I
that's
think
that's
I think
that
I'm
tough love
accomplishing
right
it.
there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't get any soft love from 466.
That's much needed.
Yeah,
Definitely. I feel like we all need that one or two people that just keep it 100, no matter what. Just straight to the point. Like, yo, that's trash. Change that. Damn.
yeah, exactly. It's like you get your feelings hurt at first, but then you're like after you like get out your feelings, you're like, yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot to be able to take criticism because I feel like as creators, we tend to think that everything that we create, it's like, oh, that's the best thing I've ever done, and all of a sudden you get like the homie that says like, the lighting could have been better or whatever, and you're just like, oh, damn, like, it's it's
Hmm.
it's hard to eat that up in a positive way because you put everything into your stuff, and to have somebody criticize it like that, it's like, damn, okay, well. let me eat this up, and I can kind of see what they're saying, kind of tap into their perspective, because at the end of the day, they're giving you feedback for you to become better. So
Yeah.
how do you take that? How hard is it for you to take criticism like that?
Sometimes I need like 30 minutes to get over it, but yeah, I know that it's like it comes from a good place, and honestly, like at the end of it, like you said, you appreciate it because you're like, yeah, like this is like, 100 times better than it would have been if I wouldn't have, like, if they wouldn't have gave me that feedback. Like I said, even like that piece that he gave me the feedback on initially, um, it turned out so much better. Than it would have if I wouldn't have gotten that feedback from him. And and now, like, having practiced what he would, because I learned that shit like right there, you know what I'm saying, and I had to like put it into practice right there. And obviously, then you don't have the same experience, but now after putting those things in practice more and more, like I've been able to get it like much, make it much more, much better than that piece. So I feel like I'm gonna eventually go back and remaster a bunch of my pieces. After learning everything I've learned since I've got the outlines and stuff. So yeah,
That's what's
the
up.
feedback is good. Yeah,
Yeah, it's and keep in mind, we're not saying like to listen to every feedback. We're saying to like try to get into that person's perspective and see why, well, what they're telling you and why they're telling you this. But at the same time, as an artist, as a creator, you should follow your gut. You know what I mean? It's like, don't just take everybody's advice and be like, okay, I need to change this, but yeah, listen to it, but that doesn't necessarily mean do it 100%. At the end of the day, this is your own creation, and so you're the only one who really knows when it's finished or it's not.
yeah, 100.
So, but yeah, that being said, let's get into the drip stuff because that's very exciting. I mean, I know a lot of us in here have been seeing the whole drip wave and everything that's been going on with them. And so talk about that. Like, when did you get started, and kind of take us through what you're doing artistically within that platform.
Yeah. So drip. So I met Vibu actually when he was down here in Miami, at Solana Spaces when they had the space here in Wynwood. And I just, I went in there for like a tour or whatever, and then we got to talking. He's like a super like down to earth and nice person, or kind person maybe better, and we, I told him I was a graffiti writer, and he was like, oh yeah, we should do some stuff together, blah blah blah, whatever. But we left it at that. I brought up some stickers and whatever. I would come through the store every once in a while, and if he was there, I'd say what's up. And and then when Solana Spaces closed and he started doing the drip thing, he reached out to me a little bit after that, I guess, or I don't even remember exactly when, but anyway, he reached out to me and we started talking about doing something, and then we kind of just like left it, and then he reached out again and we actually talked about like some ideas, and the idea was like, do some letters, like a letter every week and things like that, and that was a plan. It was going to be, kind of lower effort than what I'm doing, and it was something I could manage. But I don't know what happened. I'm just a little bit like all over the place, so I just do whatever I want to do. And so when it came time to actually give him a piece to get started, what I ended up giving was like that good morning little animation. And then when I got to the next piece, it was like it was just totally different, which was just like an environmental piece, like with like an abandoned building and stuff like that. So um, the things I'm doing like art wise is so I do the good morning throws, because like in graffiti there's like rules, like pieces over throws over tags, and so throws don't get like a lot of respect, not as much respect as pieces. But I think there's something like really special about like a well executed throwy, because it doesn't rely on like a lot of colors and these like fancy fills and stuff. It's just like fresh letters and a simple fill. And then like good mornings are like one of the like positive parts of like Web3, so it's a, like nod to that. And then those new pieces that I'm doing on Drip is like the not the good mornings, but the other like environmental pieces is like just like me, like a way of me documenting stories about my like experiences and myself in the places that I enjoy doing art the most, which is like Penance. And penance is like what we call abandoned buildings on here in Miami, because we like to think that they were all penitentiaries that got abandoned, even though it's not true. and and yeah, I just like to like put those in the art because like those are like they're like underground museums, and there's like a lot of garbage in there, but there's also like a lot of diamonds in the rough there, and you get to see like a lot of really talented art that you wouldn't see anywhere else. And you get to give something that like was abandoned and forgotten some love. So that's why I'm doing those pieces right now.
Yeah, I was looking through their stuff right now, actually, like all the stuff that you've been doing for Drip. It's exciting. You're absolutely right about the throws and the pieces. So it's really cool to see what you're doing with them. Actually, I had seen your art before, like a while back, but I just didn't know who it was. And the piece that I saw that really gravitated me, I was like, dude, this is fucking sick. It was let me see, what is it titled? Can Control. Yo, that piece is insane. Like, I love everything about that piece. You know what? Let me go ahead and
That's the one with the background, with like all the like that spray can art is in there and everything. It's like a can in the middle
yeah,
and like a
yeah. You know
bedroom.
what? I'm a
Yeah.
tweet it real quick so I can pin it. Hold on, give me a quick second. My favorite piece. Because I feel like people need to see this. This piece is nuts.
Yeah, that's
And
one of the first pieces that I that's actually like I think that's actually like the second piece I put on the blockchain maybe as a
yeah,
one-on-one.
how long ago was that?
I honestly don't remember. It was maybe I don't know, maybe 6 months ago or something. I would have to double check. Honestly, I don't remember. I'm terrible with time. I never remember. I can never put times on things.
Why is it tweeting?
I could probably look on Exchange and see what's.
Yeah, I'm trying to pin it up, bro. Hold on, give me. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
why it's not popping up. Give me a second. But yeah, that piece is nuts. It's like the detailing that you have, the colors that you use, and just like it really tells like a story. It's like, and it obviously for me like a graffiti artist, I really love what you have in it. With the can and stuff. Hold on, let me disconnect real quick.
Wow,
So
see,
we have to
I'm
work.
so bad at times. This was 11 months ago.
Damn. Yeah, but
Time
that
flies, eh?
piece looks fresh. Like you can drop that tomorrow. And it's like, dude, that's fucking crazy. It's sick. How long have you
Yeah.
actually been doing digital work now?
Probably like just a year. Like probably a little bit before this piece.
Oh, that's nuts. And like self taught. You just kind of took what you already learned from doing graph and kind of implemented it onto the iPad, or
Yeah, yeah. I'm self-taught. I just started learning. I've known like Photoshop for a long time because like the way I actually got into software engineering was at first I started out. I got like a little 50 megahertz computer, or 30. No, I think it was 33 megahertz actually. And I got myself like Photoshop. It was like Photoshop 3. I think it was still owned by Macromedia at that time. And I started learning how to like use Photoshop, and then I went and I worked for a club flyer company. And then after that, I started my own company, and then I got into like doing web design, and then that's how I ended up being a software engineer. So I knew how to do digital. I knew how to use. I knew how to use like digital art software, but I'd never really done like like painting or drawing with it. So yeah, I've been doing that for a year.
damn, that's not even a long time to be honest. So again, it just shows like the dedication. It's absolutely insane. And so, like, take us through. What can we look forward to? Like, let's say, for instance, you get to kind of do and accomplish everything that you want to do when it comes to your art. What does Stoic want to do with their art? Yeah, how far do you want to take it? Like, where are you going with this?
Yeah, so what do I have in my near future plans is so I want to start incorporating like scavenger hunts into like the collection of my art. I love like so like free art. The reason I do the drops for drip on free art on Fridays is because of this thing called free art Fridays, which is like a it's like an in real life thing where you do art and you like drop it in a like an actual like physical location, and then you give like a hint so that people could go find it, and then whoever finds it, gets to keep the art. And so I kind of want to. I've done a couple of those here in Solana, and I want to kind of incorporate that into the drips too, so that people could like have other ways of guaranteeing themselves like rares and legendaries and things like that. Um, I want to turn some of the like drip pieces into like mixed media physicals. And I don't mean just like different types of paint and markers and shit like that, but I want to buy like different materials like concrete and cardboard, fabrics, grip tape, all kinds of shit. Um, and then like I said, I love board and card games, so I've been kind of working on like a little graffiti tabletop card game, and I've already got like all the rules fleshed out and stuff for that, and so I just need to start testing that and then putting down the artwork for that. So those are the things I'm focusing on for the near future.
That's what's up. You got a busy stoic over here. I love to see it. And I actually just
Yeah,
pinned up the art that I was talking about. I just tweeted out right now, and I pinned it up to Jumbotron for everybody to see. Because again, I would love to see this piece like in real life. Like as the actual physical. Um, you know what? We're gonna have to talk and see what's possible because I would definitely love to own this. If you made like a physical of this, I'd cop that easy. I
all right, all right.
definitely would put that into the collection. You have the wild style in the back, like you got the boombox, you got the cans, like all of it. You got the arcade way back. I see it. So much history in this. You got the Rubik's cube on the bottom right. Like, dude, the backpack with the cans and the skateboard and like, duh, come on.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
you're gonna
mean?
have to
This is like
back
every
those.
graph boy, graph girl's dream right here. In a piece. Like, it's so sick.
Yeah, yeah. You always got to take a bat to the abandoned buildings. You don't know what's gonna happen there, so that's why there's a bat there. And my favorite part of this piece actually is like the if you see on that old Mac, there's like maybe a lot of people ain't played this game, but there's a game called Oregon Trail. It's mad old, and it was like you always died of dysentery, so like I put gonna make it under it because you
Yo,
always
I
fucking died in that
remember
shit.
that.
So I was like, it's kind of funny. I'm saying you're gonna make it because you were definitely not gonna make it in that game. You were gonna fucking die.
Nah, yeah, no chance. It's like delusion the whole way.
Yeah. Yep.
That is mad funny. Yeah, let's talk. I would definitely love to own that as a physical. 'Cause like you, I myself have a collection both physically, digitally, all that stuff. So it's like this piece right here is just one of those. Like, yeah, I need to have that. So yeah, with that, let's just definitely talk after this. One on one and see what's possible.
All right.
But yeah, this is amazing. Like, dude, like this is what I truly enjoy about everything that I'm doing because like to get to hear your story and having you share it with other creatives in the space or even non-creatives, but like people who are kind of thinking about doing something different for themselves for their life, like this is what it's really about to kind of inspire that action, uh, to have people stop contemplating and to start taking action towards what they truly want to do because at the end of the day, nothing's gonna be easy. So might as well do something that you're actually proud of doing and really like to do. Because again, none of this shit's easy. I wish I can tell you like, yeah, being creative full time is easy. All I do is paint and it sells. Like, nah, heck no, man. Like that's like definitely not the reality of it. But at the same time, we really enjoy this shit, or else we wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, most definitely. For me, this is like the only time that my mind is like quiet when I'm doing art. It's like being like meditating. It's the time where I can like not think about anything else and just focus on exactly what I'm doing, which is like hard to do in other cases. So uh, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and we're getting to share our world also. Like you're getting to
Hmm.
share your perspective, your viewpoint, how you see the world, right? And the way you communicate is through your art,
Hmm.
which is a really dope way to communicate. It's like you get visuals, it's like it's I don't know. overall, I think it's a really cool thing to be a creator, not just an artist, but overall just a creative person that is just trying to attempt to do something new. You know, we're pulling from the inside, the way we feel, our experiences, and we're sharing this with the world to kind of just see if they fuck with it or they don't. You know, and I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that's another way that we're able to find like-minded individuals, right? Because we're putting ourselves out there, and because of that, other people are like, yo, I really like that. Let me go ahead and check this out. Just like this space right now. Like all the people that are way up in here right now, guarantee to some degree, they're all creatives in some type of way. Because why? I don't know. That's just what they gravitate towards. That's what they are. And so it's inspiring to see like a group of people get together to kind of be in tune in a conversation that can probably spark some type of idea or perspective shift, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah, this is dope, man. This has been great. I can't believe that it's almost at we have like 15 minutes left. That's crazy. Like these tend to go by so fast because of just the context. You know, it's just like I said, it's a very organic conversation, and I feel like they get cut short because I thought 1 hour would be more than enough, but it seems like it's not, which is crazy. But damn, that's very exciting. So now let's talk about like you know, I mean, actually, what? How old are you, by the way?
Ooh, I'm old as fuck.
All right, what's old as fuck? Let's see.
I'm 45.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Damn. I'm 33. You know, so I was like
You're a
born
baby.
1990. Yeah, I'm a baby. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I survived the 80s
Dang.
and the 90s.
That's you know what the '80s looked fucking fire though. Like I was a b-boy, so I was inspired by all that. Breaking like, dude, absolutely love that culture. That's actually what inspired me to be a graph writer as well. Aside from seeing it from my cousins, like that culture just seems so fucking fun. Like that time, damn, I'm jealous, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it was dope. It was dope. It was dope to be able to witness, like the maybe like the infancy of hip hop. Maybe not the birth because I was a little too young, but
Yeah,
it was hella
you got
dope.
like a nice little taste, actually right there in person. That's sick. So,
Yeah.
like, what has that been like? From going from a place, even I remember like being like 12, 13 years old, not really knowing about tech. Like, it wasn't really around. I mean, I didn't get like my first cell phone until I was in high school, so I
Mm-hmm.
lived through a nice era of like just being outside and not really being into any type of tech. But nowadays, it's like a complete 360. Kids are like born with tech, so it's such a different world. What has that been like for you from your own personal experiences, like seeing, witnessing that transition?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild. Like I said, like the first computer I got, I was like, we had like some computers in school and things like that. But the first computer I got, I was like 16 years old, and we used like dial-up internet, and I loved it. Once I got it, I did spend a lot of time on it. But it did still, obviously go out with my friends and stuff. Um, but yeah, like my son is 20 years old now, and he grew up like yeah, I used to. So I told you I had a business, like I had like a printing business, and so I would work, and I had like a desk beside my desk, and I'd put him there, and he'd play games and stuff. So he's like, he's digital native. Like he types faster than me, even though I've been typing for 20 years longer than him. Like it's crazy to me. But I do think that we spend a lot too much time on these computers, and we probably need to get outside more. Uh,
100%. And before we continue, this is the time that if anybody in the audience has a question or statement or just wants to say what's up, this is the time to raise your hand and I'll get you up onto the stage. But meanwhile, let's just keep it going. So what has that been like? To have your kid kind of see mom doing her thing, being this like incredible artist, and just pushing with it, not giving up and kind of just taking this and continuing it year after year, and creating like, what has that been like?
Um, I think he's more impressed by the fact that I did graffiti. I did graffiti until until pretty late. I stopped doing graph illegally probably like I'd say like 7 years ago now. So I did it for a pretty long time, and so he's always like my mom used to do graffiti, blah blah, and stuff like that.
You
Um,
know he's definitely proud of that. He's like, yeah, my mom was a graffiti writer. Like, what did your mom do? You know?
yeah, and as far as the art's concerned, he's like, yeah, it's cool, but it's not his thing. He's a gamer. That's his thing. He doesn't care. I've tried to get him to become a software engineer too, and he don't care for that either. So uh, he's not super impressed by the art part. He's more impressed by the doing illegal art thing.
Yo, that's funny. Dang, that's really cool, man. That's really cool to have like that relationship though. Like, I can imagine having kids just being a cool graffiti dad. Like, damn, that must feel cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
proud.
yeah, and yeah, I want to quickly shout out everybody who is tuned in right now. If you made it this far, we actually have a couple goodies for you guys. So, uh, do you want to go ahead and make the announcement? We have two artworks from Stoic that we're going to be giving away to lucky listeners. So, yeah, you want to go ahead and share, talk about those pieces?
Yeah, so I don't know how you're gonna do that, and it doesn't really matter to me. You do whatever you want there, but I'm gonna give away two of the rares from my past two drip drops, which is one is the cap and one is Rise and Shine. So one is like it's the cap center in the center of the city, uh, and the other one is like the lotus with the fat cat as the I don't even know what they call that stem on the top. So yeah, I'm gonna give both of those away to the two lucky winners y'all pick.
There we go. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and screenshot everybody who's tuning in right now. And then from there, we'll do a random draw, and then two lucky winners will be able to get this piece. So thank you, that by the way, for doing that, because not only did you take your time to come kick it with us, but you're giving away some really incredible art to one of our viewers. So much love for you for that. Let me give you a round of applause real quick.
Thanks, thanks.
And not only that, but we're also giving away a discount code, which the code is actually Stoic, by the way. And
Oh,
because we do have like collection drops that we do, like physical fashion drops, and we just released our first collection a few weeks ago, and we're about to close it up to go into the second one. But before you do, we're gonna go ahead and give a one-time use discount code Stoic, and it'll save you 15% off of your entire purchase. I'll go ahead and make a tweet about it, and I'll pin it to the top. But just want to get some love, and really let you guys know that we appreciate you guys for taking the time, because without you, none of this would be possible. And so, much love to you guys. And Stoic, it's been an absolute pleasure. Like, Dan, it's inspiring. It's really inspiring to see how different people from different backgrounds, at different ages, different genders, are like killing it. They're doing it their way, and that's what's really inspiring, because I know it's not easy to find your way and to continue doing art at the same time, finding what works for you to make ends meet. And so it's like, it's incredible to hear people's story. And I really look forward to seeing what else you're developing, your drops with drip. Like, I really got to get in tune with all that, because you guys are doing something incredible there.
thank you. I really appreciate being here. Uh,
Yeah, you see, it was chill, right? Nothing crazy, nothing to be nervous about. It's like I said,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
no,
easy convo. It's different over here at One Dope Kids. This is what we're about.
yeah, yeah. It was fresh. It was fresh. Thank you.
That's what's up. So before he closes out, want to give the people one last reminder, like what's your next drop to look forward to, so we're all in tune. Um,
So yeah, you just keep on looking out on my drip channel. That's where I'm focusing most of my time. If you want like the rares or the legendaries, you just have to be one of the top 26 tankers. And then aside from that, I just want to give a few shout outs, which is I just want to like thank Vibu and Esther and the rest of the Drip crew and creators for all the work they do and for allowing me to be part of it because I'm truly honored to be like part of that. And I want to thank my collectors, so like Harambe's Fury and Madness and Simplieto and a few others, like who believed in me and collected my first one pieces on Solana. I obviously already talked about 466. Y'all should check him out. He has a drip channel called Bork the Viking. And you should definitely like subscribe to that. And yeah, anybody who's like supported me with like kind words or retweets, likes, donations on drip, whatever, like I appreciate y'all and thank you for the support.
Yeah, there you go. Let me go ahead and give a round of applause for that. Way to end it. Yeah, nothing but love here, and we do this every Friday. We have the Creative Mind with a new creative every Friday. This is what it's about. Before we close it out, I do have one last question for you, Stoic, and this is the way I like to end things. So, if you can go back in time, and if you had 10 seconds with young Stoic, what would you tell her?
Ooh, that's easy. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I was always,
Hey,
yeah, I was always really afraid to ask questions because I was always the only girl in the room and I didn't want to look stupid. And fuck that shit. That's a waste of time. Just ask questions and keep it moving.
you heard it here first from Stoic herself. Don't be afraid to show up and ask fucking questions. That's how you grow. That's how you grow.
Yep.
Make yourself known, first of all. And then, second of all, let them know, like, hey, I'm looking for information. Somebody give it to me. Like, you get
Yeah.
it. Nobody's going to do it for you. You got to step up
Mm-hmm.
yourself, help, help them help you. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Down. Well, like I said, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I definitely look forward to seeing what is possible between Window Kids and Stoic. Let's work on something. Let's chat
Yeah,
it
man.
up. Let's plot. Nothing but love, and let's just keep it dope. I'm and on that, I'm gonna end it off with a little bit of music. We do have our winners, but we'll send a DM, and then we'll have Stoic connect with you guys to be able to send you the artwork. So, again, much love to everybody who tuned in. Stoic, thank you, absolute pleasure. And like I
Well,
said, I'm your host, Andrew Lyko. We're here same time every Friday, and yeah, this is the Creative Mind hosted by Window Kids.